Alright guys and gals, we're into the second week of August here. We've got a lull, at least we do here. We have a lull in what our gardens are doing. Our gardens are all in. They're not producing fruit, not a whole lot just yet. You know, some zucchini and herbs and this and that, but not a terrible lot. When our gardens do come in, we're going to be terrible busy. So it's really time now to start getting your pantry ready for winter. And one of the things that I do to get my pantry ready for winter is I make wine, okay? And I make wine from juice at home. Been doing that for a couple years now. I got a video on it. Pinball Preparedness also has a great video on making wine for your pantry, so please go check that out. But whatever you do to start preparing your pantry for winter, it's time to get it done now while you got this downtime, this lull, okay? Now what I use to make my wine is some good old juice. 100% pure juice, not full of preservatives or anything like that. Preservatives will kill your yeast. You want pure juice, okay? Now I like wine in my pantry for cooking over the winter. Nice hearty, robust soups or braised beefs. Spaghetti or pasta sauces, things like that. I'll make some white wine. I use white wine to make my Dijon mustard with, so I need that too. I gotta get this going because this process takes about a month, and you know, it'll be ready after that. Once that passes, I can go ahead and make some mustard. But what you're gonna need for this is you're gonna need some vessels that are bigger than your juice vessels. You can use your juice vessel, but you want to dump out about, you know, as much of your juice down to the shoulder of the thing, because it'll ferment up, it'll bubble up. Your husband or wife will get real mad if it spills, and you know, you won't be happy. It'll be a mess, and so just make sure you leave yourself a whole bunch of headspace. So I just use a bigger vessel, okay? You're going to need the juice, yeast, and some sugar, okay? That's it. Not complicated at all. You're also going to need a 1 cup measure. You're going to need a funnel. And you're going to need a 1 teaspoon measure, okay? So I've already got sugar in these bottles here. What I'll do is, let's just get this last bottle here filled with sugar. So easy to do, guys and gals. Like, I can't afford cheap bottle of wine. The cheapest bottle of wine you can get up here is like $10, and that's for absolute crap. You know, I'm not a big wino. I'm not making this to drink. I will have the odd glass of it, but I'm not a big wine fan, okay? This is purely for pantry, cooking, things like that. Maybe the odd glass. Okay, so we've got 1 cup of sugar in each of these. This is where your 1 teaspoon measure comes in, okay? And you're going to need 1 teaspoon of yeast. You can use dry active yeast or instant yeast, whichever. It doesn't matter. They're all the same. And 5. So 1 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of yeast per jug. And then it's as simple as this, okay? Take your juice, open her up. I've shaken it, like shake yours up if there's any sentiment. Like I said, good pure juice, okay? No preservatives. Those preservatives will kill your yeast. Okay? Good pure juice. This is how easy it is to do. Now I'm doing like sort of 5, not quite magnums, but a little more than 5 small bottles of wine here, okay? There's one. Super, super simple to do. This one's almost done. It just needs to be shaken, really, and then left for a month. And I'll show you that here in a minute. Let me just get the juice inside of the rest of these, and we'll get to that. I won't bore you with shaking all of the jugs because it's just shaking. That's all it is. All you're doing is incorporating, dissolving the sugar, the yeast, and that to let it do its thing. Okay? Yep. Yippity yep, yep. Super, super easy to do and very economical. You know, you can do between a regular bottle of wine and a Magnum, like halfway in between one of those, for about $3 here. $3 plus the sugar plus the yeast. Like I get these bottles of juice when they're on sale for $2.99, so that's way more affordable. Like I said, I can't afford $10 for a crappy bottle of wine. That's how expensive things are here in Canada. $10 for the crappiest bottle of wine you can possibly get. Can't afford that. However, I can afford $15 for like 5 jugs of wine. To me, that's just economics. You know what I mean? You know, I like to do things on the cheap, on a budget, and I'm trying to share with y'all how to do that. Very same thing, okay? Alright, so this is going to be my white wine here. It's probably a boring video. Making wine is super boring, but what I'm doing is I'm making my pantry ready for winter. This is part of the process, making the wine. Okay? Now I do need to make a little bit more white wine. I got another bottle of white grape juice around. So, alright. That's the hard part, guys and gals. Let me see here. Let's get rid of this. Let's put all the lids on these, okay? Put the lid on really nice and tight. Why? Because you're going to shake the living bejeebus out of it. Yeah, you're going to shake it until the cows come home to get all that dissolved. Make sure your cap is properly seated so you don't spill it and make a mess. You'll get mad at yourself. Husband, wife will get mad at you. If anyone's hearing any noise in the background, I'm live streaming, or I'm listening to 101's live stream right now. But, okay, so I'm not sure if you can see the bottom of this. See all the sugar? Probably standing in my own light here. See all the sugar that's in the bottom of that? What you need to do is shake the ever-living crap out of this. Shake the ever-living crap out of it till all that sugar is dissolved. Takes a few minutes, it sure does. But whoever said prepping doesn't take work, right? Anything good is worth a good effort, all right? Like I said, this does take about a month until it's ready. Basically, once it stops bubbling, it's ready. But I'll show you how to set it up so it doesn't explode on you. Do not put a whole bunch of jars or bottles of this into your pantry, or sorry, into your closet to let it ferment for a month with your white tuxedo and leave the lid on tight. because it will explode. And your white tuxedo will no longer be white. You understand what I'm saying? This ferments, and you cannot leave the top on firmly. And I'll show you how to do that here in just a minute, okay? After I'm done shaking the ever-living bejeebus out of it. We may be good there. We not. Maybe yes, maybe no. I'll check it here in a little wee bit. You guys don't need to stand around watching me shake a whole bunch of jugs. It's just not something you need to watch. But what you do need to do after you've mixed your juice, your sugar, and your yeast, shaking it until it's all dissolved, what you need to do is, okay, you see how you can squeeze this and no air comes out? You do not want to leave the top on it like that. You want to back the top off to a point where, you hear that? There's air squishing in and out of this jar. Okay? You need to be able to hear that. You want the top on enough so that you can pick it up. And what that'll do is that'll prevent bugs from coming in. But it being that loose will allow the fermentation process to take place without exploding your jar. It'll help those gases release, okay? And that's how simple it is to do. You stand that in a relatively warm place. It doesn't need to be hot, you know. You want it over 70 degrees, but it doesn't need to be terribly more than that. Leave that there for a month, and once you see no more bubbles come out of the top, it's ready. You can seal up the top, put it in your pantry for future use. Anyways, guys and gals, that's what I got for you today. Getting your pantry ready for winter. This is the wine episode. Hope everyone finds this useful. This is North. Out for now.